Hi, I'm Michelle Koppel. I'm an enrolled agent, and I'm here to answer the question, what is the ERC? The ERC is also known as the Employee Retention Tax Credit or the Employee Retention Credit. And this was part of the CARES Act. And CARES comes from the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, Economic Security Act that was voted into law March 27th, 2020. That law has since had several amendments and changes to it. But when it did first come into law, it brought about the Paycheck Protection Program, of which you're probably all familiar. But at that time, if you took the PPP, you could not also take the Employee Retention Credit. But the law was later amended at the end of 2020 that allowed you to take the ERC even if you got the PPP funds. The only stipulation was you can't double dip. So you can't get reimbursed or get employee wages from the PPP and use those same wages for ERC. But there's still plenty of money to get the credit with the ERC, even if you took the PPP. So basically, the program, employee retention, is to reward you for continuing to employ people during the pandemic. And this covers the period March 13th of 2020 through December 31st of 2021. Only a small group of companies will be eligible for fourth quarter 2021, and most people are going to get refunds for 2020 and for first and second quarter 2021. So the amount of money that you get is amounts to about $19,000 per employee. And this is just assuming that these are full-time employees. I'm just trying to give you an idea, ballpark, what you would expect. And that would be if you're paying somebody $40,000 a year, you get 50% of their wages in 2020 reimbursed to you. So that's 5,000. And then 70% per quarter up to $10,000 in 2021. So in other words, one employee, you'd get 5,000 in 2020, and you'd get 7,000 for first quarter 21 and 7,000 for second quarter 2021, which adds up to $19,000. Now there may be more if you're a startup recovery business or you had reduction in gross receipts, you may get more than that. But for a ballpark idea, if you had 10 full-time employees, you would get about $190,000. So we've got over $10 million for our clients so far. And almost everyone qualifies. And this is what I want to emphasize. If you don't have a reduction in gross receipts, this does not mean that you do not qualify. And understanding what partial suspension means, if you're qualifying through partial suspension, is going to help you to get that credit. So to qualify for this, you have to either have a reduction in gross receipts or you have to have a suspension, a partial suspension in your business. So it's either or, you can qualify either way. So let me just read what the law says. Employers that are eligible for the purposes of the Employee Retention Credit are employers that carry on a trade or business during calendar year 2020, including tax-exempt organizations that either fully or partially suspended operation during any calendar quarter in 2020 due to orders from an appropriate governmental authority limiting commerce, trade, travel, or group meetings for commercial, social, religious, or other purposes due to COVID-19, or experience a significant decline in gross receipts. So there are a lot of rules around this, and it's really important to understand what they all are. If you want a more detailed explanation, you can watch my full webinar about it, but almost everyone will qualify because everyone had some kind of restriction that was put on them. So the IRS later came out and said it has to be a 10% suspension. So just simply like in California, if you were limited to having only 25% occupancy in your building, that would qualify if you didn't have a huge building that allowed, you to have a lot of people together. This would be a qualifier. So this is a refundable credit. That means money back to you. You get a check in your hands, and we stick with people till they get that check. And I would love to help you get this refund. And again, it's limited time to be filing for this. And 2024, we can't file for it anymore, but it is available retroactively. So anyway, I'm Michelle Koppel. Please contact me. I specialize in the ERC. Thank you so much.